It is March 9th today. I'm out here at the property in Ohio. I was kind of on the fence whether or not I was going to come out for a trip because of the weather. It's been raining most of the day, but I looked at the radar and most of the rain has moved through here. It's just probably mostly dropping out of the trees right now. There's really a light mist. Today what I'm going to do is some frost seeding of a clover mix from Monster Buck. And I actually did one field already because of the rain. It was raining a little bit harder when I first got here, so I didn't get the camera out. So I already have the small power line on the west side of the property. I already I spread out there. And grab a bag here. What I'm going with is the multi-year cold climate, and it is a clover mix with some chicory. So as the name implies, this is a multi-year clover product from Monster Buck Company, and it should obviously come up year after year. So that's the plan. The fields that I'm putting it down in were in the Wild Game Institute green cover, I believe I put out last fall. That had some clover in it, and I have another field underneath the power line, kind of in the middle of the property, that I did. It was a clover mix probably 2 years ago from Pheasants for Forever. And last year I probably should have sprayed that with clemethidine. I actually had it, but I never got around to it. We just actually cut it down. So the plan this year is to get this frost seeding done and then control it with that clemethidine, the spray, to get the grasses out of there and hopefully get some pretty decent clover plots around here. So I figured out all my measurements when I was at the house. I have my scale here, so I'm pouring out the exact amount of seed in the seeder and just gonna go and spray it. And then after that, this other box, I have a mix of some native grasses that I'm gonna try to throw down in the area where they took the dozer a couple weekends ago. And we're off. Well, this is the first time that I'm doing any frost seeding out here, so hopefully have good success with it. I think the timing wise, except the truck, it's the beginning of March. The average last spring frost in this area is end of April. I think it was like the 24th, so go back about 3 weeks from that, when they say you can frost seed and still have enough of those thaws and frost to get that seed down into the ground. But this year it just seems like everything is kind of ahead. This past week we had 2 days in the 70s, a couple days in the 60s. It's like mid 50s right now. It's supposed to cool off tonight, possibly snow tomorrow, but then the warm up back to the 50s on Monday, and then after that there's 4 or 5 days that it's 60 and 70. So I wanted to try to get a jump on things, the invasives especially that would be coming up here, the grass. Hopefully get this clover down and get it established before a bunch of the other stuff starts jumping. I would rather be a little bit early than late, so I'm happy I was able to get out here today and get this put down. Well, the weather has turned a little bit. Unexpected. I thought a lot of the rain was through, but just started to get a pretty decent shower here. I'm up on the top underneath the power line on the ag field. Back behind me there's where it was corn last year. This is like 3/4 of an acre of same thing. It was green cover last year, but there's a lot of clover, a lot more clover in this one. I'm most excited about this field here, turning it into like strictly a multi-year clover plot. Hopefully it'll be a nice attractant. The deer kind of greens to grain transition once I put those trees across. the middle of the field, I'll have grains that are totally standing back here in about 3 acres, 3.5 acres worth of plant, so should be good. At least it's supposed to be good on paper. See how it goes. But one plus with this rain, it's pretty light. It just started to rain a little bit harder, but for the most part it's light, and it should just drive any of that seed that was sitting up on some pieces of clover that are there, leaves, grass, whatever. It should run that little seed right down off there onto the dirt. Should have a good seed to soil contact. As soon as it starts to warm up, those things should germinate. Well, I have one more plot to frost seed with that clover, and I decided not to bring the buggy out here just because I thought it was going to be I didn't want to load the trailer up and all that stuff, and I figured, oh, it's not going to be too bad, but a little bit more walking than I expected to get over to the other side. Fell a couple times because it's slick going down the hill and stuff, the mud, but just came back up here onto the main ridge. I already pulled a card out of the camera down by the down tree structure down below there on that bench. But last week when we were out here, I got a camera right there on the tree, and I, like I said, did another one down the hill there. And the reason I wanted to do that is I figured the deer were going to be in here browsing off the buds on the ends of these trees that we dropped down, so it's going to be exciting to watch the videos on there, because as you can see, these buds up here, you know, 5-6 feet, they really can't reach them, are still there. Down here at browse level, they cleaned them off, and there's tracks all over right here. And I figured this was going to be a good spot because the last tree that we dropped in this this opening here for this down tree structure was a big maple, and that's the end of the limbs right there that they've been browsing off. But just back through here and like that, it was a nice little funnel right here where they had to go around the end of that. That's gonna do it for this video. Probably a pretty short one, but like I said a couple videos ago, I'm gonna try to do a lot better this year, even if it's really small projects that only give me a couple-minute video. I'm just gonna edit it, throw it up there, and see how that goes. I don't know the whole YouTube algorithm thing. The last video that I did from last weekend's work, it was doing those down tree structures. For whatever reason, it hardly got any views. So if you're watching this and you haven't seen that video, you can go back and check that out. It was called Creating Structures. The one before it did pretty good, and I thought I was going to be not on a roll by any means, but I don't know, I thought I had some decent views on that. So like I said, if you haven't seen that last video, go check it out. If you aren't subscribed, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up, and if you like any of these videos and think you have any buddies that would enjoy the content, share it with them, and I appreciate it. Thanks for watching.